Hey everyone, Mr. Fritz here. Let's talk about the enemy and randomness in accuracy. So what we're going to do here is just like we did with our player accuracy above, we have this enemy accuracy variable that's just set to a number, and we're going to add inside of the enemy turn a very similar construction as what we did for the player. So what we'll do is after the attack occurs, we will first make a comment, determine if enemy lands attack. Then we'll use an if statement. Or actually, before we do that, let's take the random number and set that equal to a new random number, rand int 1 to 100. We're still going to use that 1 to 100 construction that we had before to make it seem like it's a 100 out of 100%. And also, you'll notice that I have a typo here, but also that I'm using that same random num variable, which is fine. I'm overriding what that old value is. It doesn't need to be a new variable because it's the enemy. That's just a placeholder. So I just want to keep that number just for a moment, so I only need it for a moment. You'll also notice I'm not using the same, I'm not just referring to random num from before. I need to perform this randomizer. And every time I actually execute this line, it comes up with a new value. So when I repeat this on a loop, it will generate a new random number each time this line is called. So it's important not to just generate one random value and then just reuse that. You're going to want to generate a new random value each time you go through this line of code. So now we'll check if that random num is less than or equal to enemy accuracy. Then we will print enemy name lands a hit. And then we'll do what we did here before. We'll tab this in. Now this is all part of if the enemy actually lands that hit. If they don't, we need an else statement, and we'll print enemy name misses. And one thing you might be asking is, why are we coming up with a variable for enemy accuracy and for enemy or for player accuracy? Why not just put the numbers here? And well, that's because it's kind of easy just to group those values here. And so if I wanted to change maybe the difficulty, or I wanted to tweak some of the gameplay very quickly, I just need to refer to this one section here. So that's a good practice in programming, is to, even if it seems unnecessary to have a variable sometimes, maybe just to name the thing keeps it easier to read your code. Because if I was looking at this code and I said random num is less than or equal to 70, and I'm just like, well, what does that 70 mean? What is it doing? Now I've given that thing a name. Another reason too is it's always a good idea to think forward and think ahead, and maybe I might want to manipulate this accuracy based upon other factors. And we'll actually look at that further down the road, of ways that we can have different accuracies depending on different situations. So that is the enemy accuracy, and if I run this, I say player and enemy, we continue to see that, we have a miss, we have a hit, and if you wanted to really test this to make sure that it was working, one easy thing you can do is, now I can go up to this enemy accuracy, and let's say I wanted to make sure that it never hits. I can make this a 0 just to make sure that my randomizer is working. And the enemy misses, enemy misses, enemy misses, and just like I'd expect, the enemy misses a bunch. So you can actually manipulate these settings quite quickly if you just put them in this one spot. So there's the enemy, and hope you got that.